Okay, we're back online. What's up, everybody? My name is Joe Kim. This is the daily check-in on the channel. We returned safely here to the the cold, wintry shores of Denmark. It's frosty outside and it's completely covered with snow. It's beautiful. It's quite a contrast coming back from Thailand, the warmth and the vibrancy of Thailand, and coming back to Scandinavia here, where it's frosty and it's completely, everything is still. There is some blizzard actually, but it's interesting when you compare these two scenarios with the tropical vibes of Thailand, where there's all these jungle sounds everywhere. It's warm, it's super hot actually, and it's a bit more crazy. Also, the culture is very chaotic, at least with the tourists and stuff. In the same way as the jungle scenario is much more chaotic than it is here, with all the animals and bird sounds and stuff. If compared, okay, a little bit critical. If compared jungle with a Danish oak forest that's just completely quiet and still, and so my point is just that the different cultures is sometimes it feels like it's also a reflection of the natural environment that these cultures they evolve in. Okay, that's just a little side reflection. But I wanted to dive into today that I had a revelation this morning coming back. I was cruising around with Leonardo in the back seat of the car. It was just a blessing, a bliss feeling to come back to. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but coming back to the Tesla and to be cruising around safely, conveniently, quiet, and comfortably in the Tesla car, because we've been bumping around in the Thailand roads in a handful of different, old rusty taxis that's dirty, that's super unsafe, and it's just a very discomforting experience in a lot of ways to be driving around in those countries, unfortunately. But coming back and being privileged, we are lucky to own a Tesla here in Denmark, and it's just such a great experience to be driving around. And it made me think. It I'm not a car enthusiast or a car guy or anything like that. I've never been. But once I realized the Tesla, I got a whole new appreciation, a whole new understanding of how important and how amazing a product can be, how much it can improve your life and the experience of being alive with your loved ones. And one of the revelations we came back with from Thailand was actually to, home is where the heart is. It's a cliche, it's a classic, insight. Sometimes you just have to be reminded about it, of it, because we had a great trip, but there's also a lot of challenges, which there is sometimes when you're traveling, and that made us realize one of the most profound and still cliche things, that is the only thing that matters, or the most important thing by any measure, is your connection, your experience with loved ones, and especially when you have a small child, being close to family and being close to your best friends is more important than anything, than whatever adventure can offer, or better climate, a warmer climate, or sandy beaches, all these things that people are traveling to oftentimes. If you're far away from your family and friends, it's just not. It's uncom. It's un. What's it called? I forgot the word. But so we realized, okay, we have to go back. We are so privileged that we have people actually at home that misses us, that loves us, that we can spend time with. So let's just go home and spend the time with them. And tying that back to the test, I think it's very important to acknowledge how important it is to be driving in a safe car, because we all need to get around. We all need to transport ourselves from point A to point B. It's human nature, animal nature actually. And it's not even to be, sounding the alarm clock about climate. You have to drive electric vehicles and stuff like that. But it's more important to focus on also emphasize that it's so critical to be driving the safest car around, and the Tesla is just the safest car you can buy on the market. It's the most advanced security and safety system that's available, and Tesla has been focusing. It's been their number one design priority since day one, to design the cars around being the safest cars in the world. And few people, they realize this, are aware of this, but that is one of the most important things for Tesla when they design and build their cars. So that's a critical component, and I think I'm still surprised that not more people, they are talking about the safety of driving, because there's still, I think it's 40,000 people each year that dies in traffic accidents, and millions are injured. And it's just reached a point where we just accept that as just a natural fact, and that's just how it is. We have to sacrifice these people on the road to, excuse me, to drive from point A to point B. But the good news is that it doesn't have to be like that. And one of the big passions of mine is this technology, especially the full self-driving technology that Tesla has been developing over the last 10, 15 years with their cars. I can do many more videos where I explain why it's important and how it works, but the overall point is that there actually exists a technology that is only available in the Tesla cars that can alleviate these traffic accidents, because 90 to 95% of all traffic deaths or injuries on the road are caused by human error when driving, and that is such as drunk driving, tired drivers, distracted drivers on their phone most of the time, or anything like that. That is causing between 90 to 95% of all road crashes, car crashes. So those 90 to 95% could at least be alleviated with a full self-driving system like in Teslas, because the system never sleeps, doesn't get drunk or high, and it's never distracted. It's alert and vigilant every millisecond of every hour you're driving, and it has 360-degree vision with the 8 cameras that's filming around. And because it's a computer that's doing the driving, the reaction time is in the microseconds and not in the seconds that it is when humans are driving. Even though you're the best driver in the world, it still takes X amount of milliseconds or seconds when there is a dangerous situation on the road and you are reacting there, and those seconds can be oftentimes what is resulting in whether you are walking away from the accident alive or you're killed in a crash. As just a split second can make the whole difference, and when you have a computer like Tesla's that reacts in a thousandth of a second instantly, you can avoid a lot of accidents. But that's a long way of saying that this is just the safest car in the world, and especially when you have family and friends that everybody, I think, can agree, more or less agree, that friends and family is one of the most important things in our lives. We have to do whatever we can in our power to keep them safe, keep them healthy and alive, and there's nothing worse to me than to imagine losing a family member or another loved one in a traffic accident. It's just such a sad fate that many people they end in. So I think my strong recommendation is everybody, if anybody listening, really try to visualize how insanely frustrating and sad and it will just crush you and crush your family if somebody got hurt. So do whatever you can to keep them safe, and that is one of the best ways to keep people safe on the road is by driving a Tesla. That's a long way of saying I love this product, I love this car, I love my family, and I love this little project that I've done for myself with doing these daily check-ins where I don't prepare, don't do any editing. I just turn on the camera and force myself into a stream of consciousness and work on my ability to communicate whatever is in my mind at the moment, and to increase my ability to improvise and just be more myself on the camera. So far it's been working out really well. There's some days where it's a bit annoying. I don't really feel like turning on the camera, but you know how it is with new habits. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, and if you push yourself to committing to that habit each and every day, at some point it is just gonna be second nature. And I'm still not there completely, but getting closer. I can feel it, and there's already been a lot of very therapeutic and lots of things that I've learned from the experience already by doing this. So if anybody out there listening, I highly recommend doing something similar, because it's a great way to get to know yourself better and to improve your ability to express your own true nature of being. And this is also a thing that I'm going to talk more about on the channel, because going into this, another theme of the channel is going to be, or is, how we as humans are going to fit into a world of artificial intelligence that we're going into, because it's going to change everything, this whole transformation, in a good way, in many good ways and many bad ways. There's going to be many challenges looming ahead, waiting for us. And I want to have an overarching message on this channel about optimism, and I'm going to focus on creating content that will provide genuine value for people, and to be inspiring people on how to approach this AI transformation with an optimistic mindset, and figure out ways for myself and for my family on how I can live with these technologies that's coming ahead of us, and actually use them to create better and more meaningful and more purposeful, more fun, more amazing lives for ourselves and each other, because there is a lot of potential, and we're going to dive a lot more into that in the future. Yeah, it's okay. Family time, a family business, but yeah, we're going to get back to that. I have a lot of interesting topics I want to cover in the future. We're going to do a lot of interesting things where we are using AI to the benefit of all of us to create amazing lives. That's all for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Hit me up with comments down below if you have ideas on how I can approach this in the future, and if you have any tips on or recommendation or comments on how I can improve with my communication skills. Am I staring too much in the camera, or am I just rambling too much? Should I cut myself short more often? But yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.